Hello, I'm Jacob Simpson from the Cincinnati Type and Print Museum, and we're here in the Schramm Print Shop, and we're going to show you a little bit about typesetting and some of the presses and some of the things and how they work. All right, so once you have your form set up, we've got to come over to the press and get it ready to print. So this part here is called the ink disc, and as the press rotates, the rollers are going to actually come across the disc, get the ink, and then roll it across your form. So what we need to do is actually put some ink on this. So we've got our ink can here and an ink knife. And then sometimes there's a little bit of a film on top. So you just want to take the knife and kind of scoot that out of the way so that you're getting the clean ink underneath. You can also skim that off and wipe it on a piece of paper. We want to get just a little bit of ink and spread it across. And when you're getting ink out of the can, you want to just skim across the top. You don't want to dig in because then you're going to introduce air into the ink can, which will make the ink dry quicker than you want. We've got a little bit on there now. So now we're going to cycle the press. And then every cycle you'll see the disc turn. And what that's going to do is spread that ink out evenly. So I'm going to step over here and use the treadle. So once the ink is even across the disc, then you're ready. So you'll bring your form over to the press and then it'll be locked in here. So your next step in getting the press ready to print, we need to put some temping paper on the platen here. So you're going to take your piece of paper, open these clips, and basically push it down there, and then you want to get it under this top clip and then pull it tight. That way there's no gaps in the paper itself. And then do that. And then we can actually take our form that we locked up. It'll go here on the press. And then as we roll this across, it's going to put a little bit of ink on it. And then when you pull this handle, that's when it's actually going to make an impression. I'll pull that. And it did not make an impression here because there's too much space between the temping and the type. So we're going to open this back up, put a few sheets of paper underneath it, and then try it again. All right. So now there's a little bit of a light impression on here so we can see where everything's going to be. So when we take our paper that we're actually going to print on, we can use this to line it up. So now that we've got it printed here on the temping, what we're going to do is take the piece of paper we want to print on and kind of line things up, and then we can measure it and we can see what we're looking for is that it's centered. So I'm going to draw a mark down here, and then I want to go this way and do the same thing. make another mark here. And then I can take my piece of paper, set it against those marks. And then you've got these little things which are called gauge pins. So you poke those into the tympan. And then basically slide them down to where the piece of paper would just sit against them. And then you want to check to make sure the little brass tongues on the gauge pins aren't going to actually hit the type when it goes into print, because we don't want to smash the type. So now we can take our test sheet of paper here, set it against all three pins, pull this handle, and then try it again. And then see what we have.